tell me how memory is formed.
Okay. So
and where is it formed? Like what happens?
Okay. So there are different kinds of memories. There's the memory of you learning how to ride a bicycle, right?
Yeah.
You learned how to ride a bicycle. That is done. That's a procedural memory.
Okay.
That's the part of your brain, that's a different part of your brain that processes procedural memories. When you learned how to walk, when you learned how to bicycle, when you learned how to swim. That's one kind of memory. How you learned how to dance, maybe a beautiful sequence. These are all procedural memories. They're not memories that you consider the explicit memories. Explicit memories are memories where you and I can describe something. You can tell me, yesterday I went out for a meal with this person. This is what I ate. That's your memory of what happened yesterday. You can also tell me that 20 years ago, this was what I ate in the gully outside my school and this was how the vada pav tasted or whatever, right? Those are explicit memories.
Okay.
Now, these are two different classes of memories. They also tend to be processed by different parts of the brain, right? Now, one memory, the learning how to ride a bicycle. Once you learn how to ride a bicycle, you're not remembering every single time, how did I ride the bicycle? You just get on and you ride.
Yeah.
It's the same way as you learned how to walk. Every time you're not remembering, to walk, I need to move my foot like this, etc. Right? You just do it. And that's all procedural. But explicit memories are in the retelling of the memory that the memory becomes actually relevant.
Okay.
If I have a memory and I never talk about it ever, over time, the memories will fade. Right? It is in my description of the memories that they get a life. Either openly by my talking about it or by my thinking about it. I can think about it and keep that memory alive as well. So sometimes you close your eyes and you imagine someone you loved, a parent, a family member who's no more, but you can almost imagine their face. And it comes back up because it's a visual memory that you're recreating. And some people are very visual and they can actually close their eyes and bring back the memory of the person.
Yeah.
But those memories are kept alive by your brain or when you talk about something.
Explicit.
Yeah, those are explicit memories. They are actually formed, all explicit memories appear to be formed involving the hippocampus. So we need the hippocampus for explicit memories. And the way we understood this was actually because of a person called HM. Okay, HM was a guy called Henry Molaison. He had severe seizures. He just was seizing so badly and there was no medication or treatment for it. So the surgeon went in and took out the part of the brain that was producing the seizures because the seizures were so severe he couldn't function. But in the process, the part of the brain that was producing it was the hippocampus. So they took out the hippocampus bilaterally. And now Henry could not make any new memories. Old memories which had distributed out of the hippocampus were still there. But all the new memories, nothing new could be formed. So let's say I was a doctor and you are Henry. I come and say, hi Henry, how are you today? Shall we talk about something? Then tomorrow I come again, I have to introduce myself because you have no idea who I am. You have made no memory of either me or this interaction. But if I teach you to draw something, you learn it and you get better and better at drawing it because procedural memory is still okay. So that's when we first learned that the hippocampus is so important for forming memories. So our idea of location and space and people and events is encoded first in the hippocampus.
Interesting.
Then from there, it goes to being distributed in many different... It's like almost a bank teller machine. You need to have the hippocampus to get the memory. After that, you don't keep everything in the hippocampus. You distribute it. So you send it to many other parts of the cortex. So now it lives in many different distributed places. And that's why old memories, which are distributed to many locations, tend to be the last to go. So when you have someone who's much older in your family, who has Alzheimer's or has cognitive impairments or dementia, they will sometimes remember the most excruciatingly small detail about some old memory, but they don't remember who you are.
Yeah.
As recent as what has happened yesterday, they don't remember.
Yeah.
It's because that memory is relatively fresh and hasn't had a chance to become an old, stable, consolidated memory that's distributed to many locations in the brain.
True. I've seen this live in one of my family members. They went through an episode for about 6-7 days where they had this, like, very, I don't know if you call it stroke or like some sort of episode where they forgot who the family members were. And they were like, who's this person?
Correct.
But next morning, and everybody in the family was very shocked that, oh, maybe they've forgotten everything and now this is end. And you know how family reacts first time. Next morning, that person woke up at the exact same time when they wake up, they got up, they started cooking in an exact proper way, as if everything was normal, and they served it to the 5 people who they remembered.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, the brain is a very complex.
It's like that person's brain remembered how to cook, where the food is, where the salt is, like all of that thing. But they couldn't remember who was this person.
Become muscle memory. When you dance or you sing or you sometimes even produce some piece which involves movement, you're not thinking that now iske baad ye karna hai, then I have to do this. Let's say someone who's been doing Bharatnatyam for multiple years, there's so many different dances. Do you remember which is the next step? It's become muscle memory, right? When we call something becoming muscle memory, it's because it's almost as though it's produced automatically. So for many people who would be going to the kitchen every day, doing the same ritual, putofying something, doing something, that repeated action is almost muscle memory. It's not, now I have to remember that I have to take this out and then do this.
So when does this normal explicit memory become muscle memory?
So procedural memories become muscle memories very easily. That's the ones that involve movement. Explicit memories get distributed and don't become muscle memories, but they get distributed to multiple parts of your cortex. So they become, how to put it, they're more stable because they've had time to marinate and distribute to many parts of the brain. So very old memories, which are very strong memories, tend to get distributed like this. But let me ask you a question. You went to school in Mumbai? I don't know where you went to school.
Indore.
You had a favorite teacher?
Yeah.
You remember your favorite teacher?
Yeah.
You remember the person you hated the most in school who was a bad teacher?
Yeah.
Do you remember all the people who you were neutral towards?
No. I don't remember half of their name. I'm finding it hard. Like, who were apart from 5 teachers who I knew, I don't even know who were the other teachers.
Precisely. So this is a good exercise, which one can easily do. That if you go back 20 years, 20, 25 years, sometimes 10 years, who do you remember from a large setting where there were many people? You tend to remember the people you really liked. Tend to remember the people you really disliked. The people you're neutral to, you just forget.
So emotionally charged memories.
You remember anything that has emotion. Charged good, charged bad, doesn't matter.
Negative charge or positive charge.
Yeah. You basically need meaning to remember the memory. It has to matter. Things that don't matter, your brain is not. So for example, you're not going to remember formulae and maths. If they're not changing your life every day.
Yeah.
If they're changing your life every day, you will remember it. But otherwise, why are you going to remember? This is just going to go out of your brain.
Interesting.